Hey there, Steve at Fox Can Farms. It's time to make applesauce. It is a dreary, rainy, in fact it's drizzling a little bit, and it's just muggy today, so that's the way it is. So we're gonna make it happen here. Here at Fox Can Farms we have 2 apple trees, only 2, but they produce a fair number of apples. This year we've got a decent crop. However, they're fairly small this year, and I think that's probably because we didn't get a lot of rain this year until now, later here in the fall. I think that might be the reason. I'm not a tree expert, maybe some of you are, but basically what we have is our trees. We don't really spray them with anything, so you know they have imperfections in them, to say the least. But they're ready. So let me give you a little summary of what we'll end up doing. So we'll gather the apples, of course. We're going to wash them. Just use a Scotch-Brite pad. Then the apples will go to a slicing station where we basically slice them up, cut out the imperfections, chuck those. We'll give those to the chickens, and then we'll put those in a stainless steel pot. And we'll cook them up till they're soft. You should be able to just kind of almost squish them with a fork, if you will. After that, they'll go inside the house, and we have a KitchenAid mixer with an attachment that goes on there where we put the apples in, and it basically takes all the seeds and the peels will kind of push out the end. It's got a sieve on it, and all the applesauce goes down into a pan. From there we will have had some jars that were boiling and being sanitized, and then the applesauce will get poured into there. Put the canning lids on it, and we'll probably have a couple canning stations going on. One will be outside on a turkey burner if all goes well, although it is starting to rain here, and then one will be inside. But this video is going to be about a larger, we are very, very small scale. We're looking at maybe 50 to 100 quarts this year is what we're kind of anticipating, but a little bit larger than some of the other videos you see out there where people are doing their little small jars and things like that. So yeah, so that's pretty much the overview. You know, if it is drizzling. If it gets to be too much, we'll set up a little canopy. Okay, so I don't know how things work at your place, but you know, certainly what you could do is pick your apples ahead of the day you're going to do the applesaucing, you know, and then just put them in a bin or something. But you know, here things don't always work out as planned. So in our case, we pick them on the day because sure enough, we'd pick them like a week ahead or and then sure enough they'd sit in the bin and then they'd go bad on us. So yeah, just doing a little apple picking here. And filling up some bins, and then we'll run those bins up top. We've got our washing station. We'll show you that in just a little bit. So yeah, broke the canopy, guys. I think I was supposed to disconnect this. Hey, I don't know if I should take comfort, if I should be upset, or if I should just take comfort that you know, things are going as usual. Something has to break, right? All right, let's get moving. Did you just film that? And right here we've got our washing station, and we just use Scotch-Brite pads because again we don't spray our apples with anything, so they have you know, it's the stuff that needs to be cleaned off. We just use the Scotch-Brite pads because it doesn't matter, we're not saving any of the peels or anything when we're making applesauce. And there you can see how they come off the tree. Some imperfections, some have some bruises, a lot of that will just get cut out, and the good stuff, make use of that for applesauce. So yeah, keep in mind that what you want to use when you're working with apples, you want to use stainless steel, especially when you're cooking it. Use aluminum, it'll turn black on you, or gray, and it gets really hard to clean it up. Okay, we're inside the house here, so once the apples are all cleaned up, they come in here and they get cut up. Bad parts are trimmed out, and they're going into this pot. And this pot is about ready to go outside to be cooked. So cook it slow, low heat, and what we already have inside here is some water with lemon juice, and what that does is help keep the apples from turning color, turning a little brown on you. Now, you don't need to do that. That is totally for appearance. So you don't have to put that lemon juice in there at all. No, we usually don't. This year we're going to try it out and see how it goes. But so all we do is just cut here. It doesn't matter if the cores are in there. You can see that cores, peels, any bad bruises are chopped out. And we'll give that to the chickens. And then I'll give you a little preview. This is the attachment that goes on our mixer. And this is where it gets fed in. We'll get a shot of this when it's in operation. And down here, what happens is all the apples, the peels, the cores, the seeds, everything are going through here. And you can see this sieve here. All the cores and that seeds will come out here, and the sauce come out the back into a bowl, and then we'll can it. So there we go. It's raining now. We knew it was going to rain, but here on the Fox Can Farms, we don't have time to worry about weather. So we've got our tent canopy set up. We've got some raincoats, and we're going to keep working. Get this applesauce canned. Right there, cooking apples. Right here, we've got our water bath just sitting there waiting. And pretty soon we'll be putting some canning jars in there. Okay, so I just thought I'd give you a view here what we got going. So this, I got the temperature just a little too hot, but we're doing okay. Now that one, I don't know, it's probably pretty hard to see. We want this to kind of squish out. That one's pretty close to, that could probably work. This one here, I don't know if you can hear that, but it kind of cut through. Take a shot at this one. That one's good. Can't squish that one. That one cut through. I don't know if you saw that right at the end there, just kind of cut through. So these are not quite ready. They are really close. This will probably be ready in about probably another minute or two. And probably even just set it off to the side. See how these are doing. I'll see. I don't know if you, that one is so ready. Okay, here we are. Things are happening. And here, you can see the apples that have been softened up. They're going into the mixer here, the attachment. And look at this thing. Huh? Look at that. Coming out here, right there. We got all the cores and the peels, the seeds, all coming out. Boom. And by the way, we freeze those to give those to the chickens in the wintertime. Gives them something fun to do, and then they don't beat up on each other too much.
Can some too.
And we can some. Why do we can them?
Takes up less space in the freezer.
Oh.
That's the reason.
There we go. Mrs. Fox Can Farm says we can some because it takes up less space in the freezer. Alright, so you can see here. And then down in here we got our applesauce coming out. And yeah, pretty much makes a great big mess, right? Okay, so these are the handles. I'm sure you can probably buy something like this in the store, but we made this on the fly because it's kind of hard to reach in there, I found out. And so I just made those handles.
There we go.
So one of my sons noticed that, our applesauce, there was a fair amount of water coming through, and it's getting a little watery. And he noticed that most of the water is draining out, like right here, okay? And then all of the, now this is normally over a little bit, all of the applesauce is coming out down on the bottom here. And so you put this funnel here and it's capturing most of the water coming out, and that one's not totally full because it's a new one. And you can see right here the water's coming out, and hey, looks like apple juice to me. It's like a great apple juice. Might even be better if you put a little rum in it. Okay, so after some use, they came up with another solution, because the solution they had with the funnel and the straw, once in a while a little applesauce was getting in there and it would plug up the straw. Of course, that didn't help much. So they came up with this here solution. Alright, just going to try some of this juice that, this is the watery stuff that's coming out that my son's capturing here because the applesauce was getting too watery. Really, it's apple juice, and it's pretty thick, I think. Or at least it looks thick. We're going to give it a try here. Let's see how it is. I don't think you want to try this. This is, anybody here? You want to try this? This is delicious. Wow, that is good. That is better than apple cider. Tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna leave this here for everybody else, and I'm gonna get back outside and get some work done. Okie doke, we're at 20 minutes. We're gonna pump this out of here. Okay. So now what we do is we let that sit there. My golly, those do work. At any rate, we now let that sit there for about 5 minutes or so, and then we'll go put it on our cooling rack in the house there and let it cool down. Let it sit for 24 hours without moving. Okay, so again, a little trick here. When you're canning, you might consider using a turkey burner. Get yourself a stainless steel stock pot and a turkey burner. And the reason is because in the house, your burners on your stove don't have quite the same amount of BTUs as a turkey burner does. And so you can get the water up to boiling really quickly with a turkey burner and maintain that boil very easily with the turkey burner. And then it makes the whole process go a lot faster. So in our case, we've got a turkey burner outside, and we have a burner inside on the stove canning as well. So we're doing both. I think we're gonna wrap up with somewhere. I guess it'll be somewhere north of 50 quarts for the day, and then we'll probably run some more again maybe next weekend. So yeah, it's all good.
It must be love. All the things we love. So I'll keep on believing. Corn makes whiskey. When I hear it, I just can't live on my horses.
Okay, here's the fruits of our labor. 63 quarts here, approximately. So that's what we have going for this first batch. We might do some more next weekend. We also have another 6 quarts. I don't know if you heard that, but that's that fantastic sound when you hear those lids pop. One just popped. Anyway, So we've got another 6 quarts of apple butter. Take a quick shot of that sitting over there in the crock pots. Okay, here's the apple butter. See if I can do this without getting in trouble here. There's the old trick where you put the knives across the top. Yep. So again, we don't add any sugar to our applesauce, but I can smell some cinnamon in this. Wow, does that smell great. This is gonna be fantastic.